A special welcome to you. Yeah, let's give it up for him. Good to see you. We're glad you're here. If you don't know, right next door on the other side of that wall is WSLR 96.5, Sarasota's local radio station. Yeah, give it up for them. All kinds of programs that are there. It's volunteer run and driven, so all of the programmers that you hear are volunteers. All kinds of different shows. There's a whole news department over there, so you can get local news, which is really important in the times that we're finding ourselves in. So we invite you to tune into that. And Fogartyville here, our Community Media Arts Center, we have all kinds of different programs and events. Not only just concerts and world-class music and entertainment like you're going to hear shortly here tonight, but we also have film screenings. We are an event rental space. We can throw open the back doors and have a big patio back there. So again, we invite you to familiarize yourself with all the different things that we offer here. The newspaper that you find on your table there is our local newspaper that we put out quarterly, and inside that you can find a schedule of all our events. And we have so many different kinds of music concerts coming up. Different genres, everything from rock, jazz, country, singer-songwriters. We have an open mic that we do monthly. So if you'd like to come get on the stage, we have all kinds of acts from spoken word poetry to a kid played a sousaphone one time. That was pretty cool. And he was really, really good. Like, he was a really good, just brought it up there, and I want to play my sousaphone. So you get 2 songs or 10 minutes. That's the rule. So come check out Open Mic Night. We'd love to have you for that. We also have a Valentine's Day show coming up. If you don't have plans, we'd love for you to come join us, single or as a group or as a couple, however you want to come. And then also we do have a Mardi Gras show here. So literally check out all the different types of events. We have great stuff. So I'm going to shut up now, and we're going to get started with our first performers of the evening. Is a fantastic jazz duo. Heard them in soundcheck today, so you are really, really in for a treat tonight if you've never heard them before. Their credits and accolades are just far too many to count and mention, so I'm just going to invite them up to the stage. Would you please give a warm Fogartyville welcome to Michael Ross and Fred Johnson.
Everybody, how you doing? It's good to be here. Always good to come to Fogartyville. That's Michael Ross. I'm Fred Johnson. There you go, son. We've been doing this little wonderful duo for, since 2017. But Michael and I have known each other for over 40 years. We hung around Tampa Bay back in the 70s and 80s and had different bands, and we always had kind of a mutual admiration for each other and each other's work. And then I left Florida and went out into the world to do some work, and I came back in 2017 and saw Michael one day and said, you know, Michael, we've been trying to get together to play some music together. We should do that. And we did, and the rest is history. So we're gonna make some music for you with bass and voice and drums. We'll start out with, you good? You tuned? Okay, we'll start out with some blues for you, just to warm you up and just to warm ourselves up, all right? Does that sound good? All right, cool. Ready? Do I? Sa. Never miss the water till the well runs dry, until that well runs dry. You know you never miss your baby till she says goodbye. Never miss the water till the well runs dry, until that well runs dry. You know you never miss your baby till she says goodbye. Nobody loves me, nobody seems to care. Nobody loves me, nobody seems to care. Talking about bad luck and trouble, you know I've had my share. Shoot with it, wow, wow. Shoot with it, love, wow. See it, love, get it, wow, 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 load up. Shoot, what do, la 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 do, where do, lo, ba do, with it. See, we, bo, ba, ya, do, la do, ba do, le, bo, do, wa, do, wa, do. So, do, lo, ba do, le, le, with it, let it, let it, let it, let it, bo, ba do, ba do, ya do, wa, do, wa, do, wa, do. Ow. Yeah. Every day I have the blues. Every day I have the blues. Talking about bad luck and trouble, 'cause it's you I hate to lose. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day I have the blues. Talking about bad luck and trouble, 'cause it's you I hate to lose. Nobody loves me, nobody seems to care. Nobody loves me, nobody seems to care. Talking about bad luck and trouble, well, you know I've had my share. Well, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Never, 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 never miss the water till the well runs dry. Well, bye-bye, baby, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Shall we do Nature Boy? So this is a medley that Michael and I do, and there's a story to this. You know, like pretty much my whole life, as long as I can remember, actually from the age of 7. When I was 7 years old, I had the opportunity to hear Nat King Cole sing in Trenton, New Jersey. And I won't tell you the whole story, but you know, you get the point. It was an amazing evening, and so you know, my whole life I loved that song. It was like my favorite song, and so I sang it all over the world. And long story short, when I was in my early years of life, I was an orphan, and so I was in and out of foster homes and things, and I was ultimately adopted. And so for like over 60 plus years, 66 years, I didn't know who my family was, where I came from. But because of a great act, a great thing that was done by the then Governor Chris Christie, he made it possible for people to get their pre-adoption birth certificates. And so I got my pre-adoption birth certificate and found out who my mom was, who my dad was. They were all deceased, and that I had brothers and sisters that I never knew existed. And so anyway, it was just a great experience. So one day we were on the phone, and I was talking to them, and I was saying, you know, guys, turns out just about everybody in my family can sing. But I said, you know, there's this one song that I've been singing my whole life. It's just my favorite song. Can I sing it for you? And so they said, yeah. And so I started to sing Nature Boy. And my sister started to cry. And I said, Christine, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. And she said, no, you know, Fred, there's no way that you would know this, but that was our mother's favorite song. So I had to have heard it probably in utero, you know. And that, you know, Nat just took it over the top, right? But as a tribute to my mom, to Lily Mae Barney. And then my brother, Eric, who's a really great singer, loves this song, Motherless Child, and that was one of her favorite songs. So Michael and I put together a little medley. So it's Nature Boy and Motherless Child. So here's that for you. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he traveled very far over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he came my way. As we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love and be loved in return. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he traveled very far over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day came my way. And as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing that you will ever learn is to love and be loved in return. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home, a long way from home. Sometimes like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. A long way from home. A long way from home. And then one day, one magic day, he came my way. And as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love and be loved in return. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love, is to love and be loved in return. No greater gift will you ever learn than to love and be loved in return. Is to love and be loved. Is to love and be loved. Is to love and be loved. Be loved in return. To love and be loved. To love and be loved. To love and be loved in return. Michael Rawls, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like we should just make something up. You know, like in the great tradition of jazz, we just should just make something up, but we need like a couple of words to help us shape something. What'd you say? Peace and justice. Oh boy. Okay, just one more word. Okay, harmony. All right, one more word. Freedom. All right, just one more word. Truth. All right, just one more word. All right, just one more word. Love. Okay, we'll end with okay. So we've got peace and justice, harmony, love, freedom, truth, and happiness. Yeah? Just one more word. Pickleball. I knew that was going to happen if I kept trying. All right. Okay, Michael, give me something not super fast, though, because I'm going to have to maybe think here a little bit. Not super fast, but. Yeah. Michael and I were playing pickleball the other day. and we began to have a conversation. You know it's easier to play pickleball when you're talking about something. 'Cause if you miss the ball, you got an excuse for why you missed the ball. Michael said to me, Fred, you remember that old song that we wrote a few years ago? I believe we performed it for the very first time at Fogartyville. And I said, yes, Michael, I remember when the stage was over there. Must have been years before the COVID broke out. Oh, 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 oh. And I began to think about that old freedom song and what it meant to me. It was all about truth and harmony. It was all about happiness and love. And I began to think, you know, it's harmony, freedom, love, truth, and happiness. That is the true definition of peace and justice. The foundation for peace and justice. The piece of peace and justice. The foundation for peace and justice. Harmony, happiness, freedom, truth, and love. Now we're gonna do a little call and response. I'll sing it to you, you sing it back to me. Are you ready? Are you ready? Say freedom, sing. Sing happiness. Sing pickleball. Sing peace and justice. Sing love, 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 love. Freedom, freedom. Truth and happiness. Peace and justice. You see, my friends, I'd like to believe that if we would just take the time to sing together and allow into our minds the fact that love is the key to open up our hearts, and truth is truly the way for us to be, and that we can find happiness if we can create peace and justice, and we can also share harmony. So words are not just random, there's a method to the madness for us to proclaim what we hope to be. Let there be peace and justice, sing. Truth and happiness. Love and harmony. Happiness for you and me. That's the way it ought to be. That's what we gotta be about, my friends. Whether walking down the street or playing pickleball. Let there be peace and justice for all. And let the court of peace and justice be as full as the pickleball court. Whoa, love. Freedom. justice. Peace and justice. So let it not just be a song, let it be something that we work on all day long, so we can find harmony. So let it not just be a song, let it be something that we work on all day long. And love is the key for you and me, for you and me, for you and me, for you and me. Come on, you and me, for you and me, for you and me, for you and me. Here we go. For you and me, for you and me. Now that's a Fogartyville song right there. All right. The autumn leaves. Every time I hear that melody, it reminds me of days gone by, not where there were palm trees, but there where there was a slightly cloudy sky, and you had to wear a sweater. But oh, what fun we would have. We would meet in the park and walk hand in hand and shuffle our feet along and laugh, 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 laugh. Oh, when I close my eyes, I can see it and feel it just like it was yesterday. Oh, the melody of remembrance lingers, lingers with me. The autumn leaves drift by my window, the falling leaves of red and gold. I see her face, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since she went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when those autumn leaves start to fall. The autumn leaves, they drift by my window, those falling leaves of red and gold. I see her face, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since she went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when those falling leaves fall. The autumn leaves drift by my window, the falling leaves of red and gold. I see her face, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since she went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when those autumn leaves start to fall. When those autumn leaves start to fall. When those autumn. But I miss you most of all, my darling, when those autumn leaves start to fall. Oh, how I miss you. Oh, Thank you. Thank you. So we have Michael and I have a colleague who's a wonderful human being, and he's a great poet. His name is Bob Chase, and during the pandemic, he wrote a bunch of poetry, and contacted us and said, hey, I'd love to set some of this to music. And Michael went to work to create a melody for this tune called Blues Waterfall. So is it okay? Can we do that for you? Let's try that. All right. It's a waterfall of blues coming down, rushing like a fire hose coming down. Too many droplets, so many streams. Can't separate them out or know what they all mean. It's a waterfall of blues coming down. Seems like an eternity until dawn. Seems like an eternity until dawn. Seems like an eternity till the sun shines down. Can't seem to catch a break, feed my family, make ends meet. Seems like an eternity until dawn. Seems like there's nothing like the blues to make you feel all right from the inside out. Makes for a tender healing when you don't know what to do. Feels like it's a waterfall, it's a waterfall, it's a waterfall, oh, a waterfall of blues coming down. Can't seem to find my way, just glad for another day. Seems like it's a waterfall of blues coming down, rushing like a fire hose coming down. Seems like an eternity until dawn. A waterfall of blues, a waterfall of blues coming down. Yeah. Hey, let's do Summertime F minor. All right? How we doing, okay? We all right? I don't even know how long we're supposed to play. We'll just keep playing until they tell us to shut up, I guess. Tell us to stop. All right. So here's one of our favorite Gershwin tunes. Kind of speed it up. One, jack, key, ga, ga, ga. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and take to the sky. Till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With your daddy and your mama standing by. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your dad is rich and your mom's so good looking. Hush, little baby, no, 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 don't cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing, spread your wings and take to the sky. Till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With your daddy and your mama standing by. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your dad is rich and your mom's so good looking. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and take to the sky. Till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With your daddy and your mama standing by, right there by your side. Hush, little baby, no, 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 don't you cry. Hush, hush, little baby, don't you cry. Hush, hush, little baby, hush now, hush now, hush now, don't you cry. Hush, little baby, hush, 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 hush, little baby. Yeah. 7:59. Yeah. We'll do one more, okay? We'll do that? Okay. Oh, lovely day. Doom, doom, can we do it? When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, weighs heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Well, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to take, and someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Well, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day. Oh, remember this part where he goes, a lovely day, a lovely day, lovely day, lovely. Sing it with me. Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, a 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 lovely day. Well, it's been a lovely evening spending some time with you here at Fogartyville, making some music. In these challenging times, it's a great feeling to be together, singing together in the groove, listening to the drum and the bass play, 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 and the beautiful melody of your voices. So we hope that you will truly, truly enjoy the rest of the evening. It's been our pleasure. How about a great big hand for Michael Ross on the bass? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yours truly, Fred Johnson on the drum, singing some melodies for you. Oh, a lovely, 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 lovely day. A lovely, 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 lovely day. Sing it with me as we close. A lovely day, 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 a lovely, lovely day. Michael Ross, Fred Johnson, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. right, everyone, let's give it up one more time for Mr. Michael Ross and Mr. Fred Johnson. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. What a great show so far. We're going to take about a 15, 20-minute break and get Ben Cosgrove set up. So feel free to use the restroom, visit the bar, and we'll be right back with you.
Mr. Ross, you're the man.
This is the sound of my voice in the microphone. Yeah, sounds great. Sounds like me.
All right, everyone. It's right about that time. We're going to wrap things up and get started with the second half of our show. How good was that first set, huh? Wow. Wow. They don't call us Sarasota's finest listening room for nothing. I'm just saying. So, our next artist tonight, well, before we get to that, just a quick reminder again for you to check out WSLR.org for all of our upcoming events. We'd love to have you come back. We invite you to buy your tickets early and often. We know how you like your favorite tables and want to sit with your friends, and so get that. You can check out the whole seating chart. Well, you know, you already got tickets for tonight. So check that out, WSLR.org, and the slew of shows that we have coming up. Our next artist tonight is a phenomenal artist, a composer, pianist, multi-instrumentalist, and he basically went through hell to get here today. I'm sure he's probably going to tell you more about it through the set. But we are very, very excited to have him here. It's his first time here at Fogartyville. So would you please join me in giving a warm, warm Fogartyville welcome to Ben Cosgrove.
Thank you guys very, very much. I actually can't tell you how happy I am to see you tonight. Yeah, we can talk about that in a minute. I'm gonna play a song and then we can talk. This is called Salt. Thank you. Yes, I would have been here earlier, but I was busy getting hit by a truck in Georgia. So my car is still there, and I'm driving this cool little rental thing with South Carolina plates, so I blend in better in Florida than I would with my, Massachusetts one. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, South Carolina for now, Yes, it is a miracle that I'm here at all, and I'm so happy that you're here as well. It would be. So I write instrumental music about landscape. I'm the most efficient description of me, I guess, is I'm a geography nerd trapped in the body of a piano player, and this is how I've landed on to make sense of those two conflicting things in my life. I'm really especially interested in why it feels different to be like a human-sized person in different sorts of physical environments or topological situations, like why you might feel exhilarated on a mountaintop, or disoriented in the middle of the open plains, or claustrophobic in a cave. And luckily for me, in my very specific skill set, instrumental music turns out to be a great way to explore these things. So I'm going to play a couple of songs now from an album I made a few years ago during the pandemic. And that album is called The Trouble with Wilderness. And I wrote it because I came to this sort of uncomfortable realization where I had, all this music about national parks and all this music about wilderness areas and rivers and oceans and streams, and not a lot of music at all about places that have people in them. And that made me concerned because I worried that I might be reinforcing an idea about, like what nature is and where we might find it that is not, the one I believe, which is, of course, like the tree in your backyard is every bit as wild and interesting and worthy of wonder as one that's in the middle of a national park. So I wrote that album, which is 12 songs that are all about different moments of overlap between the built and natural environments, where it's sort of hard to tell what is nature and what is not. This is the first song on that record. This is called The Machine in the Garden. And I, for want of a better explanation, it's about plants growing up through the cracks in the sidewalk. A very Floridian image, I guess. Thank you. How about Fred Johnson and Michael Ross? That was like, I told them as they were going off stage, it's like, this is exactly what my blood pressure needed after today. Was to okay, this is another song from that same album. I thought if I was going to write an album about that concept, I should have at least one song about gardens, because gardens to me represent these very interesting situations where, you know, like human beings try to apply reason and order and right angles and straight lines to all these plants that, you know, kind of fundamentally just want to explode everywhere and like do whatever they want to do, and don't care a lot about, you know, linear geometry. So that tension has always been really interesting to me. That's what the song is about. The title of the song is This Rush of Beauty and This Sense of Order, which is my longest song title. And it's a line I stole from E.B. White. His wife, Catherine White, was also a great writer and a very avid gardener. And the two of them would often be several states apart. He'd be in New York and she'd be in Maine, or vice versa. So they wrote all these letters back and forth, which have all been, you know, collected, and you can read through them if you have nothing else to do. And at the end of one of his letters to her, he writes this very cute poem about gardens and gardening, the last two lines of which are, "Not sun, not soil alone shall bring to border this rush of beauty and this sense of order." So I stole that, and now it's my song. It also makes me sound very well-read and learned to be able to quote that to you, but it's actually written on the ground, or on the floor of the mall in Portland, Maine. So it's Thank you. It comes now time to talk about the new product, which is not that new anymore, unfortunately. But this is my most recent album. This is called Bearings. As you can see, it is very physically beautiful. There's the cover. There's text on the back. What more could you want? I encourage you to buy as many of these as you can because I have to pay for a lot of car parts. I wrote Bearings in it's an unusual album for me because I wrote it in a kind of a peculiar way. My normal compositional process is I'll write a song about a place and then obsessively overthink it for months and years before I actually record it, by which time I usually hate it. And so I was trying to think of a way around that. And I was also thinking a lot about how I kind of like learn and engage with landscapes in real life, which is always by kind of moving through them and looking at them in different angles. Like I never really feel like I know the shape of a town until I've kind of like walked through it a few times, or like you don't really understand a mountain until you've seen it from all these different angles. And I was trying to think about how to reflect that in the music. And what I landed on was this questionable system where I booked a bunch of studio time over the course of a year, and then showed up for each of these sessions with no music pre-written at all. I just had a notebook full of text about all of the places and landscapes and concepts that I knew I wanted to write songs about. I was very smugly self-satisfied with the brilliance of this creative idea. And then got to the studio and immediately felt like terrified and an idiot who had wasted all this money without having written any music. But luckily, this was the second song we tried to record, and it really fell off my fingers all at once, and it kind of gave me confidence that this whole project might actually have legs after all. And this song, it's the first one on the album. It's called Ariel, and that is not the font or the mermaid, but the adjective. And I wrote it because it was pointed out to me that I have all this music about land and all this music about water, and I don't have a lot of songs at all about the sky. Which, when you think about it, is like 50% of the world as we experience it. So I hope you like it. Thank you. I'm gonna go from a new song to a very old song. This is called Abilene. I wrote this song the very first time I ever drove across Western Kansas, which I don't know where you people are from. Have any of you ever done this? Yeah, yeah. Everybody in the entire room. It's flat. It's a spoiler for the three of you who haven't traveled across Kansas. And I did know that in advance, even though I had never, gone up across that part of the country before. But the mistake I made was in thinking that, it's flat, so it'll be boring. So I sort of steeled myself for, 8 hours of a kind of like boring drive. What I hadn't anticipated is that it's actually so flat that it's not boring at all. It's completely terrifying. There's no way to tell kind of like where you are in relation to anything else, or how fast you're going, or where anything is. It's like driving a space shuttle through wheat. And I have a very distinct memory of, I was driving, 75 miles an hour in a straight line, and then there was a tree to my left that just like didn't move for 45 minutes. And I had never felt anything like that. I'm from New England, where you can't ever see more than 50 feet without a hill being anyway. That was a new set of feelings for me. So this song is meant to reflect that kind of like simultaneous experience of exhilaration and disorientation. So it's meant to sound kind of big and broad and wide open, but also kind of panicky and frantic, and like it might spin off the rails at any moment. Which is exactly how I feel today. I hope you like it. I'm trying to get out of the habit of saying I hope you like it before I play every song, but just know that it's always implicit. Thank you. I should note that in the time since writing that song, I've actually done a lot of work in Kansas. I love Kansas, and I play that song there every once in a while, and they don't get it. The song's called Anorak. Thank you. I'm gonna play a song now. It's too new to be on the new album. So if you like it, I'm afraid you can never hear it again. It's the song's called Obad, and I wrote it. I do a lot of artist residency. It turns out an ancillary benefit of writing music about landscape is that people from different places keep writing to you to ask to go out there and do that. Which is how I wind up driving a car around the country all the time and getting hit by trucks. And for a bunch of 23 to 24, I was working part-time as the artist in residence for the Upper Mississippi River National Wildlife Refuge, which is really one of my favorite parts of the whole country. It's this region of the Midwest called the Driftless area. I have two friends from Minnesota who are here, where instead of the glaciers just sort of like gliding around and ironing out the landscape into what you normally picture when you imagine, Illinois or Iowa, it sat in this part of, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, and they just kind of melted into these wild shapes. So there's all these sort of like big bluffs and valleys and hills and curves, and through all of this runs through the Mississippi River, and it's one of the American landscape's best kept secrets. So I got to write a bunch of music about that area, which was a treat. And this song is called Obad because an Obad is a sad poem written about the dawn. And one effect of the shape of this landscape is if you're actually like there on the river itself, and when the sun comes up, it doesn't really hit the river for a while because of all these bluffs. So that's what that's what it's about. But it's really, picture whatever you want. It's an instrumental song. I don't know why I'm tugging. Thank you. I probably got. Trying to decide if I'm gonna have one or two more. I'm gonna do two more, and you can leave after this one if you feel like. The very first song that I played tonight was called Salt, and that is the title track to an album that is also called Salt, which is 10 songs that are each about places where you can't necessarily depend on the ground being underneath you when you want it to be. And the way this album is shaped is it sort of starts off with places where these changes come very like hard and fast and absolutely like avalanches, earthquakes, and that sort of thing. And then it moves over the course of the record to being songs that are instead about places like salt marshes and estuaries and places that are kind of always shifting and changing in some way, but have some kind of weirdly reliable stability about them because of that. So it's a metaphor, if you know. This, however, is it's also a not so secretly, it's a breakup album that I wrote about, estuaries. And this is a song from the first half of the album when I'm still very upset. And it's called Break, and it's about two tectonic plates drifting apart from each other. So we're fine now. Thank you. This will be my last song. Thank you. I say this every night, but tonight I really mean it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. It's the first I felt good all day. um, yeah, this has been medicinal for me, so thank you for it. I would have done this even if there weren't any of you here. Truly, thank you for Doug for running sound. Thank you enormously to Ariel and to Joe for being very accommodating when I was a huge diva today, hit by a truck. They're extremely supportive and never complained once when I showed up 3 hours later than I was supposed to. Oh yeah, yep. Well, yeah, me and my car, so it's my hermit crab shell. Anyway, this song, like I mentioned, I do a lot of artist residencies, and this is one I wrote on the weirdest of those I was ever a part of. Several years ago, I was asked to be the artist at sea on a research vessel in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which was weird for me because I write piano music about land, and sort of voluntarily walked into the situation where there was no piano and also no land. But the idea was very cool that the ship was owned and operated by this oceanographic research institution, and they had begun this pilot program where they would bring, they wanted to bring a poet or a painter or a musician, to go ride along with the scientists on these cruises and kind of learn from them and then make work that reflected the science being done on the ship, which I was all about. However, it was apparently kind of early enough in this pilot program that they hadn't worked out all of the kinks. And I wound up on a leg of this ship's journey that had no scientists on it at all. Which I learned when I got there. So the ship was in Vietnam. There were a bunch of scientists there doing very interesting work off the coast of Vietnam. And one day, all of them finished up and flew home. And 1 hour later, I arrived. And then the crew and I sailed from Vietnam to Australia over the course of about a month, during which time I mostly vomited. We got to Australia. I left, and then 1 hour later, all these new scientists arrived and did what I can only imagine was fabulously interesting work off the coast of Australia. So this is a very existentially challenging time for me. Because not only could I not do the thing I was there to do, I was also the only person on this ship that wasn't in any way necessary. However, not having science to write about kind of did free me up to write about the experience of being out in the middle of the ocean the way I would write about any other landscape. Because I'd never done that before. We were kind of out of sight of land for most of this trip. And I'm sure that some of you here have done that. Florida seems like a place where people go to the ocean. It was new for me. And let me tell you, it is so weird. The only thing I could think to compare it to at the time was honestly that Kansas piece that I played for you earlier. So if you stand on the deck of the ship and look out, it looks kind of like Kansas, or it looks like a Rothko painting. Right? It's big field of this color, big field of this color, hazy line in the middle, for days. And if you stand there and look at that, it's it seems very still and stable. And then if you think about it for more than 1 second, you realize actually no, none of that is still at all. Everything I'm looking at is moving in all these complicated and interrelated and unknowable ways. The wind is blowing, the current's moving, and that thing's moving, and you're moving. And the idea that you can stand in the middle of this riot of motion and chaos and feel even vaguely upright and oriented and you know which way is what. It's a pretty remarkable feature of being a human being that I had never thought to appreciate before. So I wrote a lot of music about that. And this song, which is considerably shorter than the story I am telling you about it, is called... It's been a long day. My brain is leaking out of my ears. This song is called Landfall. It's about the moment when the ship gets back into port. And this mode of orientation I've just been describing has to kind of snap back into the one you've had for your whole life on land, where you can kind of lean against the ground and reasonably expect it to behave a certain way. I think that's all the information you have to have about this song. Thank you again for coming out tonight. Thank you, Fogartyville, for having me. And I hope to be back again soon. I'll see you guys in 2.5 minutes. Please come talk to me and buy stuff, or don't buy stuff. See you soon. I wish I could say it was easy. it'll be easy to come back. Thank you all very much. Hope to see you again soon.
All right, everyone, let's give it up one more time for Ben Cosgrove. Ben, we're so glad you're here. It's a miracle you're here. Check out his merch, and once again, have a great night, drive safe, and thanks for coming to Fogartyville.